Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Gordon Maston, and welcome to another edition of my Smackdown live review for July, I believe this is the 26th, 2016. Now, I was at Smackdown Live, so, I was pretty up close and personal to the show, which means I was completely tuned out of commentary. I heard JBL and the word meritocracy was thrown around a lot. JBL was still very annoying. Marwanalo was in mega super ultra pop culture reference. Just just in so many. I heard it was bad. From a commentary standpoint, I heard it was bad. The show itself. I have two different opinions on this. The show itself, and it's in a scope all by itself, wasn't bad, but wasn't bad. Or actually, let me put it in a different term. Average. Felt like basically an old Raw. This felt like what an old Raw would feel like. Whenever we say like Raw wasn't offensive by any means, that's what it felt like from what I heard. But you know what? I'll break it down. But first, you guys know the drill. We're going to talk about the Twitter machine, and I am going to tell you guys my Twitter handle that you can follow me at to see anything. And I may not have been completely live tweeting because I was there and I was entrenched in everything with my entire section, but this was my seat last night. I was on the floor. I was in row 3 on the floor, and that was my seat. Pretty close to the ring. So, yeah, there's that. So as you can see down here, Gordon Maston, fight Maston, fight. That last isn't there, as I always tell you guys, and I'm pretty sure you guys get it by now. So, what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into SmackDown here. So, hold on, let me just say this here. SmackDown Live, the concept for SmackDown Live is a very good idea. Like we've talked about this. The concept for SmackDown Live is a very great idea because there are no spoilers. There's actually going to be storyline progression, yeah, and all that. So there's that. But let me just say this. I don't think I already said this, and if I did, I'm just completely blanking out on what I'm saying in general. But SmackDown Live definitely needs to step their game up. They definitely need to step their game up. But hold on, before we get into the show, let me actually tell you the story really quick. And you know what? For some of you, this might actually like matter to you. Others, it won't, because I've heard people say Raw felt like a Triple H booked show, SmackDown felt like a Vince booked show. Well, let me kind of toss that around a little bit. So from what I heard, because I was talking to the stage manager, I think his name was like Aaron or something, but what he basically does is like whenever you see somebody like Balor take off his leather jacket and throw it to the side, or like Tyler Breeze take off a jacket, or something like that. Like these guys have like jackets and sunglasses and all that. He's responsible for picking them up and bringing them back to him, or bringing them back after the show or during commercials or whatever. So I was talking to him about backstage and booking and everything, and I was basically asking him, you're here for Raws and SmackDowns, right? He was like, yeah. So I basically asked, well, for most of the time, who's booking the SmackDown shows? And he basically told me, oh, well, usually whenever Vince can be here, Vince can be here. But I'm like, well, what about mostly? He's like, mostly it's not really Vince. It's like really whoever he can really get here, which is usually Road Dogg. And Road Dogg was doing the booking of the SmackDowns, which we heard stories about that last year. And I guess it was finally confirmed that Road Dogg was running SmackDown. And I'm like, so does Triple H usually run it? He's like, well, here's the thing with Triple H. If Vince is here, 95% of the time Hunter is here. It doesn't really, So I said, what about last summer? He's like, well, Hunter ran a couple of those SmackDowns, like, because last summer we heard there were days where Vince was off helping with Tough Enough. So he said, well, Hunter was doing some of the SmackDowns last summer because he wasn't here. Vince wasn't here. So I mean, there's not really much you can do because, like he said, Vince basically left guidelines on how he wanted things done or whatever for certain stories that they were gonna show on Raw. So I'm just putting it out there. And Vince was like the theory. I guess what I'm basically getting at here is the theory that Vince was running SmackDown and Hunter ran Raw. Let me put it like this: if Vince was in the building, he was running the show. Okay, unless it's NXT, if Vince is in the building, he's running the show. And he ran SmackDown last night. That I have confirmed. Now Triple H running Raw, but it felt like it. It definitely felt like it. From perspective, like I've heard of, let's get like even look at it. Finn Balor is fighting for the WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam in the main event against Seth Rollins. Come on, man. Just look at that for a second. Okay. Secondly, they got their other like I can't even speak. Other NXT talents were completely established, and like really, you got to look at it like this too. Like Carmella, for one. What's her face? Not Carmella. Why the hell did I say Carmella? Because she was on this show tonight. Not Carmella. Nia Jax, Enzo and Cass, who just completely destroyed the Shining Stars. Look at it, dude. It felt like that. So, oh yeah, and honestly, Triple H's best bud on commentary, Corey Graves. So that's really what I had to say there. But we're going to get into SmackDown Live. So it starts with Shane O'Mac and Daniel Bryan out by ringside. Not out by ringside, out like coming, from out of the backstage area and coming out to the ring. And they basically address the entire roster, which is in the ring. And they tell the roster that there's going to be, well, this is what's going to happen tonight. There's going to be a 6-pack challenge. And this 6-pack challenge will feature they said the 6-pack challenge will feature, let me just get the guys I know out of it right now. Daniel Bryan said Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, that's 4. I'm missing 2. AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, John Cena, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler. Oh my God, this is gonna be so difficult. Oh well, I'm missing another guy, and Bray Wyatt, and then not Dolph Ziggler. Daniel Bryan said, "I know you guys may not be exactly happy about that, but we're gonna have a battle royal to determine who's going to be number not number 20. We're gonna have a battle royal to determine who's gonna be the 6th man in the 6-pack challenge, which is starting right now. And Apollo Crews basically goes on to win this thing here. I mean, am I happy for Apollo Crews that he won the Battle Royal? Yes. But if I'm really breaking this down, I don't think anybody's really hopped on this enough. Dude, Apollo Crews needs a character. This is just so bad. Apollo Crews needs a character. I can't stress to you how just horrible that, oh man. Okay. But with Apollo Crews' need of a character, Apollo Crews is going to win the Battle Royal. And I guess that works out for him. There were 3 backstage promos shot tonight, and I'm just going to get to them now because I'm not going to spread them out all through the night. And if this seems like a pretty short review, I'm missing a couple of things, I do apologize. There were no notes taken. I didn't have anybody take any notes for me. I didn't look anything up because I really didn't feel like it. I just wanted to break down what I felt like was essential to break down as a part of the show. I'm probably going to forget them, like, oh man, I forgot it after this. But it doesn't really matter because, I mean, I'm still doing this. And honestly, I could have not. I personally could have had, like, just completely just said, forget it. Okay. So, up next, after this Apollo Crews win, we get confirmation that Shelton Benjamin will be coming back. Shelton Benjamin, who is 41 years old, will be coming back. Like, do I have a problem with it? No, not really. But like, I'm really supposed to get hyped for the Shelton Benjamin return. So yeah, there's that. And after this, we get my true love, my girl, Becky Lynch for life, man. Becky Lynch for life. We get Becky Lynch versus Natalya once again. Now, people were just saying, why didn't Becky win the Battleground match? Well, let me answer that question for you. You look at the draft and you look at the women that SmackDown took. These were SmackDown's top two women. Becky and Natalya were SmackDown's top two women. And if you go on the show that, drafted your top two women and they have a match, you figure Becky wins and the rest of the roster comes up to stake their claim. Natalya is now at the back of the line of the roster, and Becky stands alone right now as the current best because she was drafted first. She got the win on the first SmackDown Live that she was drafted to. And I guess you could basically say, I don't know, Becky, she kind of, I mean, she won, so she laid her claim. She laid her claim as the best. So, Becky goes in with the disarmer from, being there live, and I'm probably gonna say that a lot, so because I didn't see this as a TV match, but it really didn't seem like a bad match to me. I was really sucked into it, and I that's probably because I just begged and pleaded with myself for Becky Lynch not to lose this match. And you can even go back and even try and check this out. Like, Becky Lynch, she smacked the mat. Like, before she went when she did the whole straight fire thing the first time in this match, she smacked the mat. She wasn't gonna do it. She was just about to run it in the corner and just do it. And then I even yelled from the crowd. Can you see? You guys seen how close I was? I yelled straight fire, and then that's when she did. Like, it looked like she even went like, yeah, straight fire. Like, she even acknowledged it. Like, and I know, like, that's just me saying, like, I made Becky straight fire. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, to even seem like she just looked toward me and did it instead of looked at Natalya and did it like she usually would. Like, I don't know. I'm being a fucking fanboy, and it's not what this is about. So we're gonna get back into the review. So Becky goes into the disarmer, and after this, Alexa Bliss comes out and tells us she is the embodiment of SmackDown Live. I did not say booty house. Becky Lynch, not Becky Lynch. Alexa Bliss. So she tells us she's the embodiment. Naomi comes out, tells her she hasn't done anything, blah, blah, blah. She needs to stop talking, move out of the way, go somewhere. And then we get Carmella. She does her whole Staten Island shtick. And then we get... We get... I'm forgetting somebody here. Carmella... Either way. We get Eva Marie. So Eva Marie, her music hits, and then this man comes up with this giant movie voice promoting her as the most not fabulous because that's Carmella's thing. She is the most beautiful. She is the most lavishing. She is the most eye-popping. She will entice you. She will, and let your eyes be seduced by all and everything herself. Eva Marie. Bruh. Come on now, Eva. Really? Like, this girl's about to be the face of this goddamn division. Shame. Oh no, but no, seriously, my honest opinion is Eva as a top heel to me works if you work it right. If you have Eva Marie straight go out there and just dominate people like Carmella, I'm not happy with that. If you have Eva Marie straight up go out there and beat up women, not beat up women, and basically get beat up by women most of the match and make it look she's gonna lose and kind of like she's a joke, and then she comes out and like steals all kinds of cheaty types of wins, fine, I'm cool with that. But if you have Eva Marie, like you can make her the top heel easily because from where I was sitting yesterday, and I went back and watched it, the crowd booed her pretty loudly. Like, okay, like you have to understand on the main roster, an entire crowd is not going to boo Eva Marie because an entire crowd doesn't really care about Eva Marie. And you also have to realize on the main roster, the certain percentage of a crowd that do give a reaction, the certain percentage of a crowd that does give a reaction to females, that certain percentage knows, and that's just that's just mainly the grown men, the women, teens, and tweens. They know that Eva Marie is garbage, hot garbage, and they boo her. And from where I was sitting, from the percentage standpoint, everybody who cared about the women's match and cared about the women's segment booed Eva Marie. And I have a feeling that you can tell a beautiful story in between Eva Marie and Becky Lynch, where it's just like Becky's like, I ushered in this new era where, yeah, you could be hot, but if you're still a great wrestler, that's what comes first. You are the old era of, well, I was part of the new era of women who, like, I was a part of the foundation that started the new era where we get new women who come in who actually know what they're doing, not models, which are like people like you who are just complacent, don't care about their jobs, and things like that. And all they care about is just getting their body out there so they can get in things like, I don't know, places like you've been like Maximum Magazine. And I highly doubt they'd ever mention this on WWE television. How fucking badass, not even badass, how just dope badass, whatever you want to say. How cool would it be if Becky Lynch mentioned the fucking Brazzers deal Eva got? That shit would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's never gonna happen. But I also say this much: Eva Marie, top heel, lots of potential. Lots of potential. Okay, so up next we had Miz TV with Randy Orton. Well, what was assumed to be Randy Orton, because the Miz said like my guest is going to be a man who was a legend killer, who started an evolution and created a legacy. He's like me, the Miz. So he starts interviewing himself, and I think Miz has done this before. I'm not too sure. If he has, it wouldn't really surprise me. It just seems like such a Miz thing to do. And he just basically starts saying he's so jealous of himself because he gets to have Maurice, shit like that. So, Miz is out there, then out comes Orton. And man, oh man, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but man, is Randy Orton pasty. Like, just to know this man is having this A1 tan, man. This A1 tan, Randy Orton, man. And yeah, well, he kind of had it. It was a little awkward because Randy, he was pasty again with the white fist tape. It's just like a weird fan thing that you probably see on Reddit. Pasty Randy Orton equals legend killer Randy Orton. Tan Randy Orton equals Viper. And they had this whole thing where Randy Orton's basically doing this whole I don't give a fuck thing. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, Randy Orton's in straight I don't give a fuck mode, telling Miz to play with himself and all that shit, blah 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 blah. And it's all fine and good, but as long as he's not phoning it on the mic or phoning it on the ring, I'm fine with that. Like, I can get into Orton if I really just sit there and like I pay attention. I can get into Randy Orton. Is he my favorite? No. Is he like the best to me? No. But will he be entertaining like that? Yes, because he kept me drawn in when he made that Fandango joke on Sunday, when he made the no enhancement needed joke, which just people where I was sitting at Smackdown would not shut up about that. And Randy Orton, per se, let me just get this out here now. ended up facing The Miz, and he had one RKO in this match, and then hit another one, and that was practically it. Like this was like there was one moment in the match where Randy went outside the ring. He smacked like he landed awkwardly, like he really hurt his shoulder. Everybody thought he got fake, like everybody thought he got injured again. And that would have been like, in all honesty, a real shame considering he's facing Brock and he gets the Brock match at SummerSlam. So I mean, Randy, Randy, you did win though, and everybody just seeing it was a work. It was a work because Miz continued to work the shoulder and everything, so it was all good. All right, so Randy Orton gets the win with the RKO. Up next, we get Heath Slater, who is in the ring, and he wants to be signed. Shane tells him, you know what, you can send in the resume, which is basically just, in the world of professional wrestling, is the biggest way to bullshit somebody, to basically say, yeah, you can send in your resume, but we're probably not going to look at it, and we're probably not going to accept it because we are not going to accept you because you're complete hot trash, which is the way basically, which is the nice way of Shane saying, fuck you, no. Okay. So, there's that. Okay, so basically Slater tells him, type me on the WWE Network. You'll find me to be the brains behind the Nexus, which I don't think anybody from Nexus is even really still in the company. So technically Slater can name the claim to saying that. And if somebody is, then somebody remind me because I really don't even remember. Because I think everybody is gone. As soon as Barrett left, I think that's when everybody was gone. Otunga, he's at commentary. I don't know what he had to say about that because I didn't really watch it on TV because I was there. He was the brains behind the core. He was in 3MB. He was, he was the one-man band. He was in 3MB. He was a part of the Social Outcast. That's everything of Slater you'll find on the WWE Network. And then he said, you know what, fine. But he's like, we can use the hottest free agent around right now. Like, you know what, you can get a chance against the hottest free agent. He was like, yeah, turned around and Rhino was behind him, and Rhino cut him in half with a gore. So that was pretty much that. Wasted opportunity for Slater. He had the crowd chanting "Sign Heath Slater." I mean, oh god, my voice. I'm personally like not in real big favor of this. This was something I just felt like this was a wasted moment and a wasted opportunity because Slater could have really gotten a moment here, and they completely just threw it to the wayside. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so up next, I believe, was the main event, I think. Yeah. So up next was the main event, which was... Oh, wait, no. We got an American Alpha vignette. I'm sorry, venue. American Alpha vignette, which, happened to feature, obviously, American Alpha, and it tells us we're getting American Alpha, not this week, next week. And considering that I seen, like, the main event tapings for this week, and they didn't even have them on there, they had the Hype Bros, Kalisto, Vaudevillains, and everybody like that, American Alpha is not being used. And the saddest part is they were at the building, which you could have completely just thrown them out there with the Vaudevillains and have the Vaudevillains have a second match for the night and have the Vaudevillains complete JOB to Alpha. That's just my opinion. Okay, so we move forward and we get your main event, the six-pack challenge. This was a pretty entertaining match for what it was, and I got a little scared sitting there when I just seen Cena AA, and just he completely turned into he just completely went Super Cena God for one moment. That was completely shut down. AJ Styles hit the phenomenal forearm on Cena. Hit a sweet 450, which was just a beautiful image to see being there. And got super kicked, that being AJ, by Ziggler. 1, 2, 3, Dolph Ziggler wins. Dean Ambrose comes out. Shane and Daniel Bryan come out to present us our main event. Not main event, our SmackDown WWE Championship match. And this is my opinion. If Ambrose turns heel or Ziggler, I'm completely fine with it. But it would have to be Ziggler, just based on the story that Ziggler told us in his promo. And I forgot to even go through the promos. Ziggler basically said he's lost control of his own destiny recently. He's lost sight of how things are working, and he's lost focus, like things like that. And he said he'll prove that he deserves to be the man again. Blah blah blah. Corbin basically he's not doing it for anybody. He's not doing it. He's not doing it for SmackDown Live. He's doing it for himself and basically the money. And AJ basically said minus the club, he's gonna beat up all the good guys, which are Ziggler, Cruz, and John Cena. Beat up John Cena. And that was pretty much about it. So you know what? I want to know what you guys thought about SmackDown Live. Compared to Raw, Raw completely just opened their ass cheeks and shit on this show. Yeah, and I'm the guy sitting here wearing a Dean Ambrose shirt when Dean Ambrose is the guy on this show. So yeah, don't really know what to say there. If you leave the show in its own scope by itself, it was a pretty good show. Thumbs middle out of the rating system of thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. Thumbs middle, like kind of toward the thumbs down range, like yeah. So it's an alright show. Nothing really special here. Felt like a old era-ish thing, if we're gonna call it that. But you know what? We're gonna leave it there. So I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of SmackDown Live. This episode, my SmackDown Live review. I'm sorry this is so late. I had no voice yesterday. I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember to leave a like on this video if you already haven't. Subscribe if you're not subscribed for more of that double E goodness on my channel. And I will see you guys on the next review. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. See ya!